Hey, look, a new video! Yes, this is the Zoology Girl channel. I'm Straw Bebe, blah blah blah, species summaries, blah. Let's get on to the good stuff. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Want to know why I'm excited? Because today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite animals. But first, I got a little question for you. How do you make a bird of prey like an eagle more awesome? You give it the legs of a dancer with the kicking force of a kangaroo. That's right, today we're talking about the secretary bird, one of the most badass birds on the planet, and would make even the most proud bald eagle bow its head in shame. And now that you've seen it, you're probably as hyped as I am, right? Right, so let's get into it now, shall we? So, right off the bat, the class is aves, and before anyone goes off on me, yes, birds also belong to the group Reptilia as a subset. Why is this? Well, the reason why is because biologists have two forms of classification for taxonomy. One is based on characteristics and was developed when we really didn't understand how animals were related to each other, called the Linnaean system. And our modern system that we have today is called the phylogenetic system, which is based on modern understandings of genetic relationships. And birds' closest relatives, according to that, are the dinosaurs and crocodiles. So, relatedness-wise, they are very much closely related to some modern lineages of reptiles, more so than mammals are. However, the biology of a bird is extremely different, right down to the number of chambers in their heart. So, if you don't mind, I'll keep using the class aves. If you are still confused, it's okay. Taxonomy is a lot of humans desperately trying to classify nature in a way that makes sense to our puny human minds, while the forces of the universe and nature laugh at us and our feeble attempts at creating order from chaos. Anyways, the subclass is Neognathae, which means new jaw, because these birds have a special fused bone in their jaw not found in early birds. However, ironically enough, after naming this group and its sister group, Paleognathae, it was quickly discovered that Paleognathae had the more derived jaw structure, making the name completely misleading. However, since they'd already gone to the trouble of naming everything and sorting out the groups, they decided to keep the names as they were, to avoid further confusion, much to the dismay of ornithology students in the future. The infer class is Neoaves. It's one of the biggest groups of birds, and is pretty much everything that is not part of Paleognathae, or is a bird we'd call a fowl, like chickens, ducks, or geese. After that, there are a few more clades to try and sift out a bunch of bird lineages. But we don't have time for that. We're gonna jump straight to order. The order for this is Accipitriforms, which is the lineage of diurnal raptors closely related to and including eagles, kites, and hawks, but excluding falcons. Sagittaridae is the family of the secretary bird, and it's really all on its own in there. So sad. Sagittarius is its genus, which, yes, it's named after that Sagittarius. All secretary birds are Sagittariuses, no matter what month they were actually born in. It's just science. Finally, its species name is Serpentarius. Now, the secretary bird is quite obviously a very big bird, though most of it is leg. Its body isn't much bigger than that of a normal raptor, but it's got the legs of a crane seemingly surgically attached to it by a mad scientist, like that of Dr. Moreau or Shao Tucker. Ugh! There's a crossover that should never happen. Anyways, its long legs bring it to a height of 4 feet, allowing it to see over the savanna it lives in, and watch out for predators. These legs are lightweight yet powerful, allowing the animal to deliver a devastating kick to its enemies, while still being able to fly. These animals only weigh a few kilograms, on average, or around 10 pounds total. However, their kicks are so powerful that they have a force greater than being hit with something 5 times their body weight. And the kick is incredibly fast too, contact only taking 15 milliseconds. A few other notable adaptations for their habitat include long, luxurious lashes that makeup companies wish they could reproduce. These are used to keep sand out of their eyes. Their toes are also uncurved, unlike most raptors, to be better adapted to walking along the savanna looking for their food, walking dozens of miles a day in the process. Secretary birds, unlike many birds, raptors included, exhibit very little sexual dimorphism. No different coloration, no difference in size, not even external genitalia to differentiate. But that's normal. Bird genitalia generally cannot be examined easily without very invasive procedures, such as putting a bird under and performing surgery. So how would one go about differentiating them with little fuss? There's actually a very simple procedure. Oftentimes, scientists just need to pluck a feather from a bird and get a blood sample to run a DNA test. However, getting that sample from a bird as big as the secretary bird is not always easy. The only visible difference between males and females is that males have very slightly longer crest feathers, but that would be indiscernible without close inspection. These guys usually lay about 2 or 3 eggs, incubation taking 40 days, and the chicks start standing after 16. Unfortunately, on average, out of a clutch, one chick will most likely not live to adulthood. If they do, however, they can expect to live 15 years in the wild. Like all birds of prey, these guys are carnivores and feed on everything from insects to small mammals to lizards to even deadly snakes like cobras. Yes, you heard me. The cobra. I told you these birds were badass. How did they do it? Well, we can take a look at that in the next section. So when hunting, these animals are usually found on the ground, roaming around, keeping an eye out for prey. They don't stalk their prey, but use their keen eyesight to search for it. And when it comes to deadly reptiles, they tend to make themselves known with lots of hissing and warning signals. But with no venom of their own, how do these birds manage to take down some of the deadliest snakes in the world? By stomping them to death. You heard me describe how powerful those legs were before, and they use them to either stun their prey with a sharp kick to the head or deliver repeated, devastating blows until they've stomped the life out of them. And with how quick they are, the snake just doesn't stand a chance.
貴様の拳などかほどにも効かんわい。お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Now that we've established these elegant birds as the most deadly of killers, let's talk about their social lives. Secretary birds are true monogamous animals, staying with one partner their whole lives. Males and females perform complicated aerial displays, grunting at each other and bowing towards each other at the top of trees as mating rituals. They also can alternatively chase each other around on the ground with their wings outstretched like screaming human kids on a playground. Ah, how romantic. They nest in acacia trees, sometimes in social groups of up to 5. The nests are made by breaking the crown of the tree and then adding materials. Females usually are the ones making the nests, while males usually provide the supplies while their mates work. Females also are usually the ones protecting and incubating the eggs, but occasionally the male will too. Pairs will return to the same nest year after year until it literally falls apart. Chicks will stay with their parents for 2 to 3 months. After they fledge, they'll be taken on expeditions with their parents, teaching them how to hunt. The secretary bird has a wide range in southern Africa and has had a long history with African culture. They were highly respected for their ability to slay snakes that could kill humans, but in some cultures they were also feared for this reason. In a few different South African cultures, they are a symbol of the divine and are traditionally seen as messengers of the heavens. They have appeared on several government symbols as well, including that of Sudan and in the coat of arms of South Africa. When Westerners first discovered them in the late 1700s, they supposedly called them secretary birds due to the quills on the back of their heads resembling quills used by male secretaries and how they would stick them behind their ears. But that's only one theory. Another says it comes from an Arabic word meaning hunter bird. Arnold Vossmeier was the first explorer to describe them, and the genus term Sagittarius falls in line with the hunter hypothesis for the name, as Sagittarius means archer. Farmers in the Cape of Good Hope called them Secretarius and also domesticated a few as pest control for their crops and their safety. Imagine if farms in your country had barn secretary birds instead of barn cats to keep pests at bay. Today these animals are considered vulnerable due to deforestation. Despite their need to hunt on a savanna area, they need to nest in acacia trees too to keep their young safe from the very snakes they hunt as well as other African predators. On top of logging and clearing of forests for farmland, as global warming continues, the Sahara stretches farther and farther down into Africa with each coming year. Acacia trees are tough, but are not able to withstand the extreme environment of the Sahara Desert. Governments are trying to combat this by planting more trees, which creates more homes for the birds' nests, as well as a sort of wall to slow down desertification, as large swaths of trees can help regulate water and nutrients in an environment and keep land from becoming eroded into sand or drying out. But land already lost to desertification may not be reclaimed for hundreds, if not thousands of years to come. So it's crucial we maintain what forests in Africa we have left to protect not only these amazing aves, but also the dozens of other species that rely on the acacia and the delicate balance of the environment that is the African savanna. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing or supporting me on Patreon. If you want to join a community on studying a bunch of different sciences and topics, consider clicking the invite link to the Study Q&T Discord in the description below. But most importantly, have a wonderful day.